I can't believe you do this to your own child when you're the worst mother.
I'm a broken woman, but now I'm a dangerous hunter who'd do anything to survive.
You're supposed to be dead. Zuri spent 10 years mourning you. Why are you working with the people who destroyed her? Kael's voice was carried by the wind. I didn't die. I was only erased. And I'm not working with them. I'm running them. Give me the drive, and I'll give you back your wife. Keep it, and the Xinhua name ends tonight. Adana said, her voice hard. Kael stepped forward, his eyes blazing. You're not her mother. You're a monster. He sneered. In this world, mothers are the most dangerous monsters of all. Choose, the file or her life. Adana grinned. The woman who gave Zuri life is the one prepared to take it. But Kael Shin doesn't play by the rules of family anymore. Kael stood on the rusted steel of the Red Bridge, the Han River churning below like a black abyss. Adana Okoro looked exactly like the woman in Zuri's locket, but her eyes were different. They were hard, polished stones. 10 years ago, the chairman paid me to disappear, Adana said, her voice cutting through the fog. He told me if I stayed in Korea, he'd kill Zuri's father and put Zuri in an orphanage. I took his money, Kael. I took it, and I built my own empire in the shadows of the Macau syndicate. Kael felt a wave of nausea. You let your daughter believe you were dead, so you could become a criminal. I became a survivor. Adana snapped. And now, I'm taking back what the Shin family owes me. The $400 million? That wasn't a hack. That was my interest for 10 years of exile. Madame Han works for me, Kael. Not your grandfather, she said, and Kael's eyes widened in shock. What? He whispered in confusion. Inside the Seoul Women's Detention Center, the alarm sirens were screaming. The fire Zuri had started in the laundry room had spread, and the guards were losing control. Zuri was cornered in the courtyard by big sister Min and her gang. But this time, Zuri wasn't empty-handed. She had a heavy industrial wrench she'd swiped from the maintenance closet. Madame Han says your time is up, Min growled, lunging forward. Zuri ducked, the wrench swinging in a lethal arc. She fought like a woman with nothing left to lose. She pinned Min against the chain-link fence. Tell Madame Han that if she wants me dead, she has to come here and do it herself. Zuri shouted over the roar of the fire. Suddenly, a guard she hadn't seen before, a woman with a familiar crest tattooed on her wrist, stepped forward and tossed Min. Follow me, Zuri Adana, the guard whispered. Your mother sent me. The transport van is at the south gate. Zuri froze. My mother? But she's dead. The words felt like ash in Zuri's lips. On the bridge, Kael held a flash drive over the edge of the railing. If I drop this, the evidence against Zuri disappears. But so does the evidence against you, Adana. I know you're the one who poisoned the chairman. You wanted the throne for yourself. Adana's eyes narrowed. You're smart, boy. But you're emotional. That's your weakness. Who knew my own blood would end up marrying the grandson of my worst enemy? She snorted with disgust. Enough with these pointless conversations. I've gotten that husband of mine out of the hospital, and I'm taking him along with me too. She sneered. Suddenly, Kael's earpiece crackled. It was Zero trying to reach him. Kael, I've tracked the transport van that took Zuri. They're not taking Zuri to a safe house. They're taking her to the docks. Adana is going to put her on a cargo ship to Nigeria. She's kidnapping her own daughter. Kael didn't hesitate. He looked at Adana, a dark, triumphant smile touching his lips. You think I'm emotional? No. I'm an architect. I always build a fail-safe. Kael tossed the flash drive, not to Adana, but into the river. You fool! Adana screamed. That was a blank drive, Adana, Kael whispered, backing away toward his motorcycle. The Real file is already with the international prosecutors, and Teo is already at the south gate. Your guard was a double agent. He grinned as he got on his motorcycle, and I've also gotten Zuri's father out so you can't touch him either. He snorted back and put on his helmet as he drove away, leaving her standing there and cussing at him. The transport van was intercepted by Teo's bike. He forced the van off the road near the riverbank. Zuri tumbled out of the back, coughing and bruised. She looked up to see Kael skidding to a halt. He leaped off his bike and ran to her, pulling her into his arms, so hard they both fell to the grass. Zuri, are you okay? Tell me you're okay, Kael gasped, his hands trembling as he checked her face. Kael, they said my mother is alive, Zuri sobbed, clutching his jacket. They said she's the one who did this. Is it true? Kael looked at the red bridge in the distance, where Adana was disappearing into the fog. He couldn't lie to her anymore. She's alive, Zuri, but the woman you loved, she's gone. That woman doesn't deserve to be your mother because she watched you suffer and struggle all these years. He looked into Zuri's eyes, and she couldn't hold back the tears as she sobbed like a child in his arms. All these years, she had thought her mother had died. She was left alone to look after her sick father, and she had been through a lot, only to find out her mother was alive and well and was involved in some grand scheme. It was too much for her to take in. As they sat on the riverbank, the sound of police sirens approaching from every direction, Zuri's phone rang. It was a video call from the hospital. The screen showed Chairman Shin's hospital bed, but he wasn't dead. He was sitting up, breathing through an oxygen mask, his eyes wide with terror. Standing over him was Madame Han, holding a syringe. "The old man is awake, Kael," Madame Han whispered into the camera. "And he has one final confession to make before I put him to sleep for good. Zuri, your father isn't the man you think he is. Ask him about the night of the fire in Lagos. Ask him who really set the match." Zuri looked at her father, who was sitting in the back of the ambulance nearby. He turned away, his face filled with a crushing guilt. "Dad!" Zuri whispered. "What fire? What did you do?" The only fire incident she could think of was the one she thought her mother had died in. But now her mom was confirmed to be alive, and she didn't understand what was happening anymore and how everything was even related. But looking at her father's guilty face, she knew something was definitely not right. Zuri looked at her father, the man she had sacrificed her youth, her career, and her soul to save. The saint who had raised her was a ghost of a different kind. "The chairman didn't steal our lives, Zuri," her father whispered, his voice rattling in his chest. "He bought mine. He needed a local partner in Lagos to clear the slums for his new factory. I thought your mother had already left for the market. I thought we were just burning a building for insurance money." Zuri stepped back, her back hitting the cold glass of the window. "You killed her for a visa? You killed the woman I've been searching for a life in a country that hates us. I did it for you," he cried out, reaching for her hand. "I just wanted you to have a better life, so I made it possible that you be the one hired by Kael as his contract wife. It all turned out well in the end, didn't it?" He tried to reach for her again. Zuri pulled away as if his touch was acid. Don't you dare say my name." The sound of boots echoing in the distance snapped Kael into action. He grabbed Zuri's arm, pulling her away from the scene. "Someone is coming. We have to leave," he whispered. Madame Han had vanished too, likely to save her own skin now that the chairman was awake and the secrets were out. "Kael, let me go," Zuri sobbed as they sprinted toward the parking garage. "I'm the daughter of a murderer and a corporate spy. I'm nothing. What should I do?" She sobbed painfully. "How is this even possible? How did they? My chest hurts and I'm confused." Kael spun her around, pinning her against a concrete pillar. His eyes weren't cold anymore. They were burning with a protective, fierce light. "You are Zuri. You are the woman who built a masterpiece in a rooftop shack. Your father's sins aren't your blood, Zuri. They're just the dirt we're going to wash off." "The police! Teo has the boat ready," Kael interrupted, his voice dropping to a low, commanding register. "We're leaving Korea. We're going to the one place where the Xinhua name has no power. We're going to Lagos. We're going to find out if your mother is really the villain, or if she's the one who's been waiting for justice for 10 years. But you said you didn't want to run away." Zuri sniffled. Kael sighed. "It's not running away, but this is necessary. All these while I thought this was just about the both of us, but there are so many people involved and we need to find out what really happened." He gave a small smile. "Don't worry, I'll be by your side through it all no matter what happens." As they reached the docks, a helicopter descended, its rotors kicking up a storm of salt water. It wasn't the police. It was a sleek, unmarked black bird. The door slid open to reveal Teo and Zero, but they weren't alone. A woman in a sharp military uniform sat in the back. "This is Commander Beezy," Teo shouted over the noise. "She's with the Nigerian Federal Investigation. She's been tracking the Xinhua money laundering in West Africa for years. She says if we give her the encryption keys to the chairman's private server, she'll give us diplomatic immunity." Kael paused. Was protecting his grandfather really worth it? The man had done a lot of shady things. Maybe giving it all up was for the best. So he agreed. At least he'd be granted immunity. As the helicopter lifted off, Seoul began to shrink beneath them. Zuri looked down at the city where she had been a student, a bride, a prisoner, and a queen. She looked at Kael, who was holding her hand, so tightly his knuckles were white. He had lost his company, his grandfather, and his country. "Kael," she whispered over the roar of the engines. "Why are you still here? You could have made a deal with your grandfather. You could have stayed the king of Seoul." Kael leaned in, kissing her forehead, his eyes fixed on the horizon. "A king without a queen is just a man in a big chair," Zuri. I'd rather be a nobody with you in a storm than a god alone in a penthouse. She smiled back as she kissed him back. She couldn't explain how she felt in this moment. It was like everything was crumbling to pieces, but only Kael felt real, and she wanted to desperately grasp this reality with everything she had. They landed at a private airstrip in Lagos 12 hours later. The heat was a physical weight, smelling of salt, dust, and home. As they stepped onto the tarmac, a fleet of armored SUVs surrounded the plane. A woman stepped out of the lead vehicle. She was wearing a traditional ghillie, her presence commanding and regal. It was a younger woman, with eyes that looked exactly like Zuri's. "Welcome home, sister," the woman said, her voice like velvet. "My name is Amara. Our mother has been expecting you." The woman said, "Wait, what? I have a sister too," Zuri said in shock. "How many more surprises should I have to witness today?" She stared at the lady in confusion. "Well, I expected your reaction," Amara said, "but I should warn you. The woman we are going to meet is not the person Kael met on the bridge. She's much, much worse." Amara pointed to the screen of a tablet she was holding. It showed a live feed of Madame Han and Mina tied to chairs in a dark basement right here in Lagos. Madame Han had betrayed us, just the way she betrayed the family she worked with for years, and she was conniving with this Mina girl. "So now, Mother wants to know," Amara whispered, looking at Zuri. "Do you want to be the one to pull the trigger, or should she?" Zuri looked at the screen, then at Kael. "Tell her," Zuri said, her voice cold and steady. "I want to talk to them first." The estate was a fortress of glass and marble, guarded by men in tactical gear who bowed as Zuri and Kael walked past. Amara, Zuri's sister, led them to the basement, a high-tech interrogation room that smelled of ozone and expensive perfume. Mina and Madame Han looked like broken dolls. They had been extradited by Amara's private security before the Korean police could even file the paperwork. "Zuri, listen to me," Madame Han gasped, her voice cracking. "Your mother, she's not who you think she is. She's been using the Xinhua money to fund a coup here. She's not saving you, she's recruiting, please spare me." Zuri didn't flinch. She picked up a tablet from the table, scrolling through the files Zero had decrypted. "You're right, Madame Han. My mother is a criminal, but she learned from the best, the chairman. And now, I have evidence that you were the one who suggested the fire in Lagos 10 years ago." Zuri's voice was hard. "Did you all think my life was a game when you plotted all these? You approached me and told me about the contract while knowing history. What kind of sick game are you playing?" Zuri shouted, her breath shaky as she did. A side door opened, and Adana Okoro stepped in. She wasn't wearing the trench coat from the bridge. She was draped in gold and silk, her presence suffocatingly powerful. "Enough, Zuri," Adana said, her voice a deep, commanding resonance. "Amara, take the prisoners to the holding cells. I need to speak with my daughter and her contract husband." She sneered, and Kael glared at her too. When the room cleared, Adana looked at Kael. "You're a brave man, Kael Shin. You gave up a dynasty for a woman you barely knew. But now I'm giving you a choice. I have recovered your $400 million. I can put it back in your accounts tonight. You can return to Seoul as the billionaire you once were, and Mina can be handled at." Kael's eyes narrowed. "And the price?" "Be asked." "Zuri stays here," Adana whispered. "She is the blood of the Okoro line. She belongs to the empire I built from the ashes your grandfather left me. You go back to your coal towers. She stays in the sun with her family. She belongs here." Zuri looked at Kael, her heart breaking for the 1,000th time. She saw the flicker in his eyes, the memory of the power he had lost, the life he had known. "Kael," Zuri whispered, her hand trembling. "Go. You don't belong in this world of mine. You're an architect, not a criminal." Kael looked at the gold, the power, and the money being offered on the screen. Then he looked at Zuri. He walked over to her, taking both of her hands in his. "You really think $400 million is worth more than the woman who taught me how to breathe? You are worth even 100 times this offer." He smiled sweetly to her. Kael turned to Adana, his face a mask of absolute defiance. "Keep the money. Use it to fix what my grandfather destroyed. But Zuri leaves with me, or we both stay and burn this house down together." His glare was hard. Adana looked at him as she tried to find the lie in his words, but she couldn't. "I said you were brave earlier," Adana hissed. "But you are a fool, not a brave man." Kael glared at her, she shrugged. "But then again, only fools fall in love." She grinned as she stared at him. "So, do you approve of us?" Kael asked, his eyes still hard. Before she could respond, the security monitors in the room flickered to life, and it was a live broadcast from Seoul. Chairman Shin was standing at a podium, looking frail but triumphant. I have a special announcement, the chairman croaked into the microphones. The rumors of my grandson's disappearance are true. He has fled to West Africa with a corporate spy. But today, I am naming a new successor. Someone who has been working in the shadows for years. Someone who knows the Xinhua secrets better than anyone. The camera panned to the side. Standing there, in a sharp suit, was Teo. Teo looked directly into the camera, a cold, ruthless smirk on his face. Kael, if you're watching this, thanks for the keys to the empire. You were always too emotional for this job. Zuri and Kael stared at the screen in horror. The black sheep hadn't been an ally all along, but he has been helping them all these while, or was it just his plan? He had been the one playing them from the very beginning. Adana laughed, a dark, melodic sound. It seems your family is more like mine than you thought, Kael. Teo didn't just take the company. He just authorized a drone strike on this estate. He wants to tie up all the loose ends, you, me, and the evidence. The sound of a high-pitched whistle began to grow louder above the estate. Zuri, run! Kael screamed, throwing his body over hers as the glass ceiling began to shatter. The explosion rocked the earth, turning the glass and marble fortress of Adana Okoro into a pyre. Kael had thrown himself over Zuri, his body shielding her from the shards of the shattered skylight. Zuri, can you hear me? Kael gasped, his ears ringing. Zuri pushed herself up, her skin covered in gray dust but her eyes wide and alert. I'm here. But my mother, Amara, where is Amara? Through the smoke, Adana emerged, her gold silk dress scorched and a handgun in her grip. Amara followed, blood dripping from a cut on her forehead. Teo didn't send a drone to kill us, Adana hissed, looking at the flaming wreckage. He sent it to destroy the evidence servers. He's erasing every trace of the Macau syndicate's connection to the Shin family. He's making himself clean before the global merger. Kael stood up, his jaw tight. He wasn't blackmailed. He's been planning this since I was named heir years ago. He always acted nonchalant and seemed like he was helping out, but he's just a demon who's playing puppet master. He was the one who told Mina to seduce me. He was the one who suggested the contract marriage to grandfather because he knew I'd pick someone vulnerable like you, Zuri. Zuri felt a cold, sharp anger. He didn't think I was vulnerable. He thought I was a tool. He didn't count on us actually falling in love. She snorted. He didn't count on you being a genius, Kael corrected, grabbing a black bag from the floor. Zero, are you there? A static-filled voice crackled over Kael's earpiece. Zero was safe in a hidden data center in downtown Lagos. I'm here, boss. I managed to divert 5% of the server data before the blast. It's not enough to convict him, but it's enough to start a war. Zero confirmed. Now we need a new plan, Adana said. They went to a shipping container village in the heart of Lagos, a maze of steel and wires where the shadow economy lived. Zuri spent 48 hours straight at a computer, her fingers flying across the keys. She wasn't designing buildings anymore. She was mapping the Xinhua digital infrastructure. Every building Teo owns, every server he uses, every bank he trusts, they all use the same security protocol I helped design when I was a student, Zuri whispered, her eyes bloodshot but triumphant. Kael, we don't need to fight his army. We just need to pull the master brick that... And can you do it? Kael asked, standing beside her and watching her work. I'll have to try my best. She smiled back. That night, on the roof of the container, the Lego stars felt closer than the ones in Seoul. Kael found Zuri staring at the horizon as she relaxed after hours of work. If we do this, Kael said, leaning against the corrugated steel, there's no going back. We'll be hunted by every syndicate and every government they've paid off. You'll never have a normal life, Zuri. Zuri turned to him, the moonlight reflecting off her dark skin. She reached up, tracing the scar on his shoulder from the dogfight. Kael, my life stopped being normal the second I signed that contract with you. I don't want a quiet life. I want a life where I'm standing next to you. Kael pulled her into a deep, desperate kiss, like he didn't want to let go at all, and she let him. When he pulled away, he smoothed her hair with his hand. I'm going back to Seoul tomorrow. Alone. I need to get inside the tower to plant the physical virus. No, Zuri said, pulling back. You're the face they're looking for. I'm the one they would least expect to be there, so I have to be the one to go in. You're going to lead the distraction from the outside. But... No buts, she interrupted him. We'll do it this way. The plan was set. They flew back into Korea using forged Nigerian diplomatic passports provided by Commander Beezy. Zuri stood in front of the Xinhua Tower, wearing a janitor's uniform and a heavy wig. She had the master brick, virus, in her pocket. As she swiped her fake ID at the service entrance, a hand grabbed her arm. Zuri froze, reaching for the small blade in her belt. She turned around to see Mina. Mina looked terrible. Her eyes were hollow, and her wrist was in a cast. "Don't scream," Mina whispered, her voice trembling. "Teo, he's going to kill my father tonight. He's clearing out everyone who helped him. Zuri, please, let me help you. I have the override code for the 88th floor." Zuri looked at the woman who had tried to destroy her life countless times, and she really didn't believe her. "Why should I trust you?" Zuri hissed. Mina pulled back her sleeve, revealing a series of fresh bruises in the shape of a hand. "Because he's not the man you think he is. He's not even a Shin. He's a monster." At that moment, the giant LED screen on the tower flashed to life. It was a countdown to the global Xinhua merger. 10 hours. "We have 10 hours, Mina," Zuri said, her voice turning to ice. "So get moving or we are all doomed." As the elevator climbed toward the 88th floor, Mina leaned against the steel wall, her voice a ragged whisper. "Teo, he's not a Shin, Zuri. 10 years ago, the real Teo died in that fire in Lagos. The man upstairs, he's a syndicate plant. An imposter who had plastic surgery to look like the cousin Kael hadn't seen in a decade. That's why he wanted the fire evidence destroyed. It proves he wasn't even in Nigeria when the accident happened." Zuri felt a chill go down her spine. "So he's been a ghost in the family for 10 years, waiting to strike? What kind of sick things are going on here? Everyone is just hella crazy," Zuri exclaimed. The revelation just kept getting worse and worse. Wasn't this supposed to just be an ordinary arranged marriage story where the leads fall in love? But why is every single person a hidden enemy with something big to hide? This was all too much. "He didn't just want the money," Mina added, her eyes filled with tears. "He wanted to destroy the Shin bloodline from the inside out." The doors chimed. The 88th floor was silent, bathed in the blue glow of server racks. Zuri sprinted to the main console. She didn't need a map. She had designed this layout in her mind already. She jammed the master brick data spike into the central port. Upload progress, 1%, 5%, 12%. "Come on," Zuri hissed. Suddenly, the lights flickered and turned blood red. The security monitors shifted to show the rooftop. On the helipad, 88 floors above the street, Kael was surrounded as he's been caught already. Teo stood by the edge, a sleek black helicopter idling behind him. He held a detonator in his hand. "You always were the sentimental one, Kael." Teo laughed, his voice amplified by the wind. "You came back for a girl and a dream. I came back for an empire. In 1 minute, the master brick Zuri is trying to plant will trigger a self-destruct in the server room. I'm not just erasing the data, I'm erasing her too." He grinned like a maniac. Kael lunged at him in anger, ignoring the guards. He was no longer the CEO. He was a man fighting for the only thing that gave his life meaning. He tackled Teo, the two of them skidding toward the edge of the skyscraper. Down in the server room, Zuri saw the countdown on her screen. Critical overheat, 45 seconds to explosion. "Zuri, get out!" Kael's voice barked through her earpiece. "He rigged the port. It's a trap. Leave the spike and run." "I can't leave it, Kael. If I pull it now, the evidence against the syndicate won't send, and your name won't be cleared." Zuri screamed, her hands flying across the keyboard, trying to bypass the thermal lock. "I don't care about my name." Kael roared over the sound of the wind. "I care about you. Zuri, please." Mina looked at the screen, then at Zuri. Something shifted in the woman who had spent her life chasing status. She grabbed a heavy fire extinguisher and smashed the glass casing of the emergency coolant. "Go, Zuri," Mina shouted. "I'll hold the manual override. If I stay, I can delay the blast for 30 seconds. Go to the roof and save Kael." "Mina, no!" Zuri screamed. "I'm the reason he's in this mess, Zuri. Let me do one thing right." Mina pushed Zuri toward the emergency stairs and shut the door. Zuri looked at the locked door, then her gaze hardened as she headed for the emergency stairs. She burst onto the roof just as Kael pinned Teo to the ledge. The helicopter was tilting, its blades dangerously close to the deck. "It's over, Teo!" Zuri shouted, holding up her tablet. "The upload finished. The prosecutors have the DNA records. They know you aren't a Shin. They know everything." Teo's face contorted into a mask of pure demonic rage. He looked at the detonator, then at the sky. "If I go down, I'm taking everyone down with me." He lunged for Kael, trying to drag him over the edge too. A massive explosion rocked the building from below. The server room had detonated and the rooftop tilted. Kael slipped, his boots skidding on the glass. Zuri screamed, diving forward to grab his hand. She caught him, her muscles screaming as she anchored herself against a steel bolt. But Teo was hanging onto Kael's leg, his weight pulling them both toward the 800-foot drop. "Let go, Kael!" Teo hissed, his eyes wide with madness. Let's finish this together. We'll end this together. He laughed like a maniac Kael looked up at Zuri. Her dark skin was slick with sweat, her eyes filled with a desperate, burning love. Then he looked at the man pulling him down. Kael reached into his pocket and pulled out the small, sharp blade Zuri had given him in Lagos. You were never my brother, Kael whispered. He swung the blade, and Teo's grasp on his leg loosened. Zuri hauled Kael up immediately, the two of them collapsing onto the vibrating roof as the helicopter spun out of control and crashed into the Han River below. Kael crawled to Zuri, pulling her into his arms. They were covered in ash, blood, and tears. The Xinhua Empire was burning beneath them. Is it over? Zuri whispered. Kael looked at the horizon, where the sun was just starting to peek over the mountains. The contract is over, Zuri. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a charred, crushed velvet box. He opened it to reveal the diamond ring, miraculously still sparkling. I can't believe you still kept the ring. Zuri chuckled. Of course I kept it. I never got to ask you properly the last time. He smiled widely. Then you can ask me now, even though I don't think now is really a good time, but it is quite unforgettable if you ask me to marry you while the building is burning beneath us. She chuckled. He leaned in, his eyes burning. I've wanted to do this. I know with all the mess and our family drama it might be hard, but I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I think we have a new project to build. From the ground up. No contracts. No lies. Would you say yes to this broke billionaire? His eyes shone as he smiled sweetly at her. Zuri smiled. A real, beautiful smile that reached her eyes. I think I'd like to see the blueprints for that. And yes, I'd like to spend the rest of my life with you. But about that broke part? We'd have to do something about it. She grinned as he pulled her into a kiss. Their story was not a simple one. It was full of complications from the very beginning, but from here on out, they were going to tackle every problem together. This might not be the love story you dream of, but this is their love story, and they choose each other again and again.
Like, share, and subscribe for more.